All right. So let's come to standing on your mat and just take the space of a couple breaths to kind of settle in, arrive, wiggle out what you need to wiggle out, shake out what you need to shake out, adjust your clothes, move your hair. So taking a moment to kind of acknowledge the distractions that are present for you as you step onto your mat, as you step into the practice, and kind of doing what you can about what you can do something about, and then just, let the rest of them be there. Let it all be there, right? And then I'm going to invite you to come not necessarily to a strict Tadasana here. So my feet are a little wider than they would be in mountain pose and Tadasana, because that's what feels steady to me right now. That's what feels just like it's the foundation that I'm naturally settling into at the moment. So, I'm going to honor that. I'm just going to stay with my feet a little bit wider. And so find that for yourself. Wiggle them out a little, wiggle them in and see like what feels like, yeah, I'm steady on my feet right now. You might roll out the shoulders a little bit. Kind of feel into that for yourself. Feel the hips over the knees. Knees are ankles, shoulders over hips. Head neither forward nor back. Not tilt slightly right or left. And then maybe let your eyes close if that's comfortable. If not, just kind of soften your gaze, letting your gaze drop as much as you can. So letting your eyes drop your gaze so that your head doesn't have to follow, right? Sometimes we drop our eyes and then there's a point at which we drop our eyes and then our head follows. So let your gaze drop to the point where your head doesn't have to follow. And then let's just take 5 nice deep breaths. See those breaths as the invitation to arrive, to be present to yourself and this moment. Without having to mean anything, look any particular way. Just like a little touch point that says, yeah, I'm here. Here I am. This is now. And after those 5 breaths, just allow yourself to kind of scan your physical body first. What's present in your physical body? What sensations are there? Comforts, discomforts, feelings of warmth and coolness, tension and expansiveness, aliveness and numbness. How is your physical body right now? What is the terrain? Acknowledging that the body, like any outer landscape you might look at, might contain many terrains at the same time, right? So you might be numb here and alive and awake here and pissed off, and there's a little pocket of joy, and there's tension in the hips, and then there's openness in the heart, and all the things. Do your best to not force yourself to conform or limit yourself to a particular set of sensations that you're willing to look at. The longer we stand here, maybe you just allow yourself to become aware of more. Like, yep, I noticed that. What else? Well, I'm observing this. What else? I If you feel yourself inclined to make it a list, so it seems hierarchical, like you put all the good things on the top, and then when you're forced to look beyond the good things, well, then fine, I'll start labeling those, or vice versa. Instead, see if you could allow yourself to kind of visualize or imagine it as a 3D landscape or a tapestry, an art piece, layers of color and paint and texture applied over and around each other, not ever separate. The canvas is still beneath every single stroke of the brush. The previous stroke, the previous color, it's still there, not diminished in any way by whatever the next color is or the next stroke that's applied. Enhanced, perhaps. Deepened, maybe, but never obliterated, never overcome. This is an integrated view of self, of life, of the whole. And now I invite you to layer in the quality of your breath. So for the space of the next few breaths, just really check in with the pranic layer, the pranic body. Notice how your breath is moving. Notice your relationship to life force energy, to prana. Do you feel yourself kind of like, I ain't got time for that today? Do you feel yourself kind of through the roof, flying high, without ground? Or are you finding harmony there? Sipping from the well as you need it to animate your life. Neither over nor under indulging, allowing yourself to feel as fully resourced as you need to be. And that doesn't need to look like anybody else is fully resourced. It can't. It's not possible. You are only you. Your prana, your life force energy, the very breath you breathe, it is there for you. It nurtures you. It sustains you. It is yours. Even while you share it with every other living being. This breath, it's yours. As you layer that into the physical body, notice how the body responds to the breath. Are there spaces where the body doesn't really move, doesn't really make way for the breath? Are there spaces that are like, oh, thank goodness, breath, prana, life force energy? Just notice, observe, release judgment as best you can. And when judgment does come in, just observe the judgment. That is in the mental body, it's there. It's energy just like everything else. Having said that, I extend the invitation now to start to allow, right, broaden your aperture a little and allow to weave in the mental and emotional body. So, what are you finding in your mind and your emotions right now? How active is the mental and emotional sheath or layer of the self? Are your emotions really active? And so your mind is like, ah. Is your mind like a hamster on a wheel? And so your emotions are all swirly? Are the two together or are they separate? As you tune into the mental and emotional body, now zoom out a little and see how the mental emotional body is interwoven with the breath and the physical body. When you look at the three of them together, can you see the way that they weave in and out of each other, how they interact and integrate? Does the breath get a little shallow when you really focus on that hamster wheel of thoughts or the swirling, eddying of your emotional waters? Or does the breath deepen a little? Do you relax when you're like, oh, yeah, I am feeling a little sad or heavy today. That's okay. That acknowledgement, does the body soften or do you feel yourself tense? My invitation to you now is to check in with the quieter, intuitive wisdom layer. Notice the activity in this layer of yourself. Maybe it's obvious, maybe it's not. That's okay. Just set the intention to focus on your intuition, your inner wisdom, your deep knowing. Just notice what you notice. Even if it doesn't quite make sense, it's a little beyond understanding. That's mental body. Let that go. Just trust that you're speaking to yourself and that you're listening. And now zoom out again and notice how that intuitive layer, that wisdom layer, the deep knowing, how it is interwoven and integrates into the other layers and how those other layers respond. So maybe the mind like puts up the hand and says, nope, no time for that. Maybe you suddenly feel a wave of emotion that you're like, where did that come from? Maybe there's a tingling running up the back of your neck and up your scalp, like your spidey senses have been activated. Maybe you feel energized, more grounded. Maybe the breath quickens, maybe it slows. These first four layers, they're about our humanity. And each one of them, as we explore them, brings us closer and closer and closer to an acknowledgement of our divinity. In the physical body and the subtle body, these four layers that we've just discussed and explored, we are contained energetically. Our intuition, our deep knowing, it protects us as much as it connects us. This is our container. This is where we are individual, unique, an expression of the divine here on earth, right? As this body, as Tanya, this personality, these thoughts, these emotions, this intuition, this wisdom, this breath. This is about this singular existence of being Tanya. And then the third body, the last sheath, is where we are boundless. This is our connection to all that is. This is the portal through which we pass that reminds us that we are never truly separate. That even in this individuated expression, that is me, I, that there's a link, there's a cord, there's a woven. So just the way that the breath weaves into the physical body, this godliness of ours, this divinity, it's just woven into every fiber of our being, just the same. And when we are contained in our individuated expression, then we are free to explore into that boundlessness, to kind of take on that sheath and wear it proudly, because we won't lose ourselves. We'll stay grounded and earthly. And then we begin to unravel and kind of know our humanity and our divinity simultaneously as an integrated whole. So see if you can breathe into that a little. Can you touch your godliness? Can you let yourself sense into it? The way that the colors, the brushstrokes, the threads of the tapestry, the contour lines on the landscape. When you look at a mountain, you might not see the earth beneath it, but you know it's there. You might see the trees and not see the birds or the nests or the bugs, but it's all there. All part of the landscape, all part of the whole. This is true of you. It's there. It's you. Let's take 5 nice deep breaths. Wherever it is you are with yourself right now. If it's starting to feel like a lot, then as you exhale, just kind of purse the lips a little and release the exhale a little bit audibly and through your mouth. It can be very grounding. It kind of dissipates the charge, if you will. All right, when you're ready, open your eyes to a soft gaze, and I invite you to give yourself a big hug. Maybe step your feet out a little wider. And just be with yourself for a few breaths. You might imagine yourself in a snow globe that's been shaken up a little bit inside and out. And by coming to stillness here, by just breathing and hugging yourself, holding yourself, knowing yourself as safe with you, you just allow the bits of snow to be naturally recovered by gravity and brought back down to earth. And this leaves you with your sense of you, what it is that you most need to carry forward with you without you really having to worry about what you're picking up and what you're setting down and parsing through. There is so much wisdom in you that just knows, so let it happen. Trust. When the mind wants to look at every little snowflake, Just ask it to trust. Choose to trust. Relax into your breath. You might wrap the breath around the mind as you inhale. Just imagine the breath gently swirling around the mind like swaddling a baby, not like causing a tornado. I'm safe. I'm whole. I'm fine. I trust myself to live my life. I trust myself to know. I trust myself to be the fullness of who I am. Drop your arms as you're ready, and then just kind of move a little, right? Just move a little. Head sways, arms might sway, weight might shift side to side. Maybe you want a forward fold. Maybe you want to reach the arms up. Just give yourself a minute. And then step back with feet in the togetherish space, whatever feels steady to you. Let's take a nice deep breath in, sweeping the arms up. As you exhale, drop the hands, maybe let yourself bow a little at the waist and just release. Hang there for a sec. And then inhale, rise up again. Exhale, drop the arms again, release at the waist. Let it go. One more time, inhaling, rising. Exhaling, letting go. This time, inhale, rise up, really root into the bottoms of the feet. Rise up, let palms touch, reach skyward, gaze rises. A gentle nod, a gentle acknowledgement, a gentle send out of gratitude as you let your thumbs touch the third eye, touch the throat, touch the heart. Bow as you touch the solar plexus, touch the sacral. Point the fingertips down and release your hands out to your sides at the root. Gaze rises back, hands might come to the heart. Saying gratitude to yourself, gratitude to the earth, gratitude to all the other beings that share this beautiful place with you and with me. Know your individuated wholeness and your utterly boundless, inseparable godliness, your humanity and your divinity. It is you. When I am in this place in me and you are in this place in you, we cannot help but remember that we are one. Imagine what we could do from there. Peace, friends. Thank you. Be well.